Okay, welcome back to another episode of the NPC National Physique Critique with Dr. Victor Prisk.
And Tad the Diet Coach.
All right, and we got an interesting video today from somebody that we actually know locally, sort of, at the gym at LA Fitness here in Pennsylvania, Ali Al-Hassan.
Ali has been competing around here for a while.
For a couple of years, yeah, and he's lightweight? Bantamweight. No, he's a bantamweight. He's a bantamweight.
Yep.
Ali's a bantamweight. So he's got a good degree of muscle for a bantamweight, but it's got some issues with his posing.
Yeah, so we have a nice video here of Ali posing and doing some mandatory poses here with, a little work. So this video actually brings out some of my pet peeves when it comes to posing. And the first thing right away is that you're at home. Pose with some comfort, so when you pose, you really should relax your neck and just let your head kind of flow.
And I think a lot, I see this with a lot of athletes as well, people that I work with, and people on stage, they tend to tuck their chin in or lean their head back. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think Ali in the video, you'll see him kind of push his head back. And I'm not sure the reason why people do this instinctively, but for whatever reason, you want to look comfortable.
Yeah, so part of presenting in bodybuilding is actually showing that this is effortless to some extent, even though when you're up there, you're crushing every muscle in your body, and it is real work, and it should be real work. You should be really trying to beat the other guy. But what we really need to do is think about your neck as though it is a separate part of your body when you're
like a bobblehead.
Yeah, you have to look at it almost like a dancer looks at their neck, like a ballerina. I mean, come on.
Well, you come from a dancing background.
I do come from a dancing background. So
what does that mean? It means this.
So it means really holding your frame up and really not doing any of this. Really not contracting your traps to do your posing. Really just letting your neck be tall. Let your head be independently moving. It's going to make you look much more comfortable, and it's going to bring your presentation out quite a bit. So there's a second pet peeve that I have here.
Let me guess. Feet stance.
Yes. So people trying to make their legs look bigger than they are by either spreading their feet or spreading their legs too much. And in reality, what it ends up doing is it causes them to look smaller.
It accentuates their legs.
Yeah, so it makes them looks like they're if you're Phil Heath and you have quads that are touching each other when your feet are shoulder width apart, that's another story. But when you don't, you keep your feet closer together and stand up a little bit taller, you may not have such a problem with showing so much daylight between your legs. Okay, and then even in the front poses where he's doing an abdominal and thigh, and when you're doing the lat spreads and things, if you do an abdominal and thigh and you have your leg way out here to the side, it makes it look small. So keep things in front a little bit better. I think that's one thing.
Yeah, and I noticed a lot of bouncing, and some of this I see this in competitors who don't practice their posing enough, and they're trying to get themselves into a position, or they just don't feel comfortable enough. And all it tells me, and I assume that it tells the judges the same thing, is that this person hasn't practiced posing enough. And I'm not trying to pick on Ali. I'm not trying to pick on you, buddy. I'm just trying to. This is a really great video because it highlights a lot of common mistakes that I see and that Victor obviously sees in all the shows that we go to, and this bouncing thing really bugs me because I want to see the guys hit their pose.
Right.
Get in your pose, hit it, stick it, and hold
nice
it.
And smooth, really get into your pose. But when you're making those transitions between poses too, the other thing is that you got to remember that somebody is watching you, whether you're in a lineup or you're doing your independent, your
so it's really
your
like
presentation round.
It's really like a performance.
You have to be performing the whole time. So controlling your abs on every movement that you do, keeping your abdomen in. This is a huge problem in bodybuilding. We even see it on the pro stage, and I've seen it at the Olympia. We've seen it at the Arnold, even the pro guys. Losing control of their abdomens. And so even when you're turning and transitioning from your poses, this should be tight.
I think that for some guys this is a lot harder than others, especially, and for some it's easier, but the commonality here with everybody who's making this mistake is that I think that they don't get a chance. This is why these videos are great, because sometimes you don't always see what others see from a third person. When you're practicing your posing at home, oftentimes you're focused on, if you're doing a front double bicep, you're focused on, does this look right up here? Am I contracting my legs? And you don't always pay attention to some of the other details that judges and other people who are looking on. And that's a common one. I've had issues with it. Everybody has issues with it. So it's good to do videos like this and get assessed. But more importantly, it's good to do them for yourself because you can see how other people are going to see you. And what we saw was, Ali, control your abs, suck them in,
Right.
tighten it up. You got abs, you know.
So this video, not to go too much into Ali's physique, we know we need to put some size on and things, but when it comes to this video, we really want to get across the point that this is a presentation,
Right.
and this is something where you're actually performing, and you want to actually look like you have some degree of practice and precision, as well as
Finesse. I mean,
Finesse.
and a level of, like we said before in other videos, comfortability. Like you want this to look, as you said, effortless. You want this to look like you've done your homework. And
So keep doing your homework.
Right.
Keep watching our National Physique Critique on the NPC News Online, and we'll continue to bring you videos of other competitors. Please send your videos into Tad and I.
yes. You can find us both on Facebook, Tad Diet Coach, and Dr. Victor Prisk. So for another episode of NPC National Physique Critique, it's Dr. Victor Prisk.
And Tad the Diet Coach.
So long.